Welcome back to the Fox Robbins Business Show. Come on in and stay a while. Come on in and have a seat. Relax. This isn't going to hurt.
No, hardly.
This is Fox Robbins Business Show is all about small business, everything and anything you ever wanted to know about small business. In fact, we're talking about how to pitch investors. This is actually episode 2 of 2 back-to-back episodes on how to pitch investors. Very important. By the way, we talk a lot about this as if you are starting up a new company, but this actually, the skills that we're talking about here can be used later on when you're.
There will definitely be used later on.
Yeah. Talking to bankers or bigger investment groups and individual investors and whatever,
that's when it becomes really important.
This is not a one-shot deal.
No, you better hone this skill.
How to pitch, and don't tell us you don't like to sell. You want to
get a job.
You want to start. You want to start a business. You want to grow a business and operate a business. Don't tell me you don't want to sell. You don't like to sell.
Right. Well, you tell me that, and I tell you back.
Find something else.
Get a job. Find something.
Get a job and let somebody else meet payroll.
Or take on a partner who's good at selling.
This how to pitch investors. This involves our co-host, Cliff Robbins, MSBDC, Mass Small Business Development, and NTB Associates. Myself, I'm the co-host of the show, but as I say, the other co-host is none other than Mr. Robbins, who is irritating. No.
Oh, I've been called that too.
No, he's irresistible.
Oh, okay.
And he's exemplary, and he's also incorruptible. He's Coach Robbins.
I'm incorruptible, and I'm also irritating at times.
Coach, we did episode 1.
Yep.
And we talked about the primary interest of investors.
Sure.
If you're making a pitch, is talk about profit.
Yep.
Don't get burrowing into the details.
No.
Of how you fix mufflers or bake, cupcakes.
Or what your secret technology is.
Investor wants to know how much money he or she can make.
Exactly.
We talked about the primary elements of your sales pitch: market size, management team, uniqueness, differentiation, IP or patent protection.
Yep.
We talked about types of investors: family, friends, and fools.
Yep.
Angels and venture capitalists.
Yep.
There are different categories of investment interest, and the selling tools. You need not a selling tool. You need multiple tools. Right. In this case, we're talking about a one sentence present, 1 sentence, 1 minute, 5 minute, 30 minute. So you measure who's the audience. You measure the audience. What exactly is called for. If it's called for, keep it to 1 sentence or 1 minute, do so.
Exactly.
But be prepared to do so.
Right.
Is what we're talking about.
Be prepared is a good thing to say for all that we're talking about.
The 1 sentence.
Sure.
So I'm going to ask you, Coach, on this presentation that you did here, this 1 sentence presentation would be, what you do, for whom do you do it, resulting outcome and benefits. So in 1 sentence.
Yep.
Can you do that?
Yeah, you can, and it's not easy to do, and it is a run-on sentence, and it may take you 15 to 30 seconds to actually get the sentence out. But yeah, that's the short elevator pitch. I mean, naturally, you hope you can have at least a minute to tell them what you do and market size and why yours is going to take the market by storm.
Let's hear yours.
Well, personally?
Yeah.
Well, okay. I'm Cliff Robbins. I'm a senior business advisor with the University of Massachusetts Small Business Development Center. And I help people look for business opportunities, and I help them take those opportunities and grow them profitably into a business that's sustainable.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
It's actually shorter, but I wasn't expecting you to do that, but I still got it out.
Well, I met you I stepped on the elevator.
That's right.
And I asked you, what do you do?
Right, and I would have been more prepared to give you even a little bit more.
But when that elevator hits ground floor, I'm walking out.
You're walking out, and you better tell that person, say, here's my card. I'd love to talk to you another time about how you can, get involved with this business, or how I can help you, and I give that to people.
You said what you do.
Yep.
You said for whom you do it.
Right.
what's the outcome, and or the benefits, the value of what you do, right?
And then it should end with some kind of an action, call to action for the angel investor or for the potential employee. You should be telling them what to do in the end.
Right.
Or just tell them, look, I'll give you a call. May I have your card? I'll give you a call next week, and I'd be glad to discuss this with you further. There should be some kind of an action step, ADA model, attention, interest, desire, and action.
But now, the elevator, instead of being on the third floor, and you got to get the one sentence out, it's on the elevator starts on the 10th floor, and I step on the elevator and I say, what do you do? Now you got a minute.
Now you got a minute to go ahead and add some things, and you should be totally prepared, with an elevator pitch that goes a little bit deeper and a little bit further. And definitely with that one, you want to tell them what you want to do.
What the company does.
Yep.
Whom you do it for, again.
Right.
Benefits.
Yep.
To the buyer.
Yep.
To the customer. Market size.
Market size is huge.
Big is, and how do you differ? You get.
And what makes yours better? What makes you different, and why is that better? And yeah, exactly.
Okay.
That's what you want to know for your own company, let alone for an angel investor. Sure.
And that 1 minute presentation, you could also say, why are you the one to do it? Mm-hmm. I mean, what's good about you?
That would be a good thing because, like I said in the episode 1, that they're very interested in investing in a Class A team. Yeah. And so if you've done this before, if you've got the educational background, the technical background, the experiential background, and you've done it, say, well, the reason I've thought up this company and I'm the one to take it forward is I've done these things and I can do it again. Sure.
Also, you want to know how much money you're looking for.
There's an ask.
If there is if I said, well, are you looking for money? How much?
Exactly.
And your answer is, well, I
that's
don't know.
The wrong answer. Yeah.
I know. Bang! You just blew it.
You did.
As much as I can get. Investor stepped off the elevator, the door's closed, and you're dead. You're dead.
You'll notice that every single time somebody presents on Shark Tank, they have a number. That number may not make sense. That number may be even foolish. I've seen some silly ones go on there, but the angels pick that up very quickly. They're bright people. But yeah, you've got to tell them at that point, I'm looking for $150,000. And this is what I'm going to do with it.
What are you going to do with it?
And this is what I'm going to do with it, and this is what I project the market's my market share is going to go from, 400,000 in sales this year. With this 150,000, I expect to do $800,000 in sales and, another 150,000 in profit next year. And here's what I'm going to do with it. I'm going to more product. I'm going to hire a marketing guy. I'm going to invest some money in a location. What are you going to do with them? How much do you want? What are you going to do with it? And what's going to be the outcome?
On your presentation, you mentioned something called Entrepreneurs Weekend. Yep. There are such things.
Yes.
All around the country.
All over the world.
All over the world.
Yeah, all over the world now.
Entrepreneur Weekend,
yep.
where people, seeking
yep.
multiple people seeking funds, show up.
Oh, sure.
To make it's a beauty contest a little bit.
Well, it is, yeah, actually. Yeah, you're right.
In a way. You could get 5 minutes now in your Entrepreneurs Weekend, and here you call for 7 slides, 21 items, 11 and a half seconds, but you set some parameters on that, on now a 5-minute, business plan talk.
Yeah, right.
Right? And
that's what you're going to work towards at the end. An Entrepreneurs Weekend, it's sponsored by, ours is sponsored by the Cape Cod Chamber of Commerce used to do them. They haven't done them in years. The University of Massachusetts, Dartmouth at the Center for Innovation and Entrepreneurship, they still do a couple every year. They're done all over the country. They're backed by Kauffman Institute. And what happens is that...
You've been a judge.
Oh, I've been a judge. I've been
or an advisor.
I've been the chief consultant for the consultants that work with the team. And the way it works is 20, 30 people will pay $75 to come to Friday night pitch. And they'll have a certain period of time, 3 minutes or so, to pitch their idea. And there'll be 50, 75 people in the room. And then you just get together and mingle, and then they form teams, and maybe 7 or 8 of those ideas gel, and people join that team. And for the next 54 hours, they put together their business plan. They do the vetting of the idea. They see, and they put together a 7-slide, 10-minute business plan presentation, which is presented on Sunday early afternoon. And many times, not all the time, but there could be $5,000 first prize, $3,000 second, $1,000 third prize. And I've been a judge. I've been a consultant to the consultants on each team. I've been involved with startup weekends for well over a decade. Matter of fact, we did one, the Cape Cod Chamber did one at Mass Maritime, and that's where the Admiral saw me do a presentation and invited me to become a professor there, and of course then I invited you to become a professor there. So it was a startup weekend that got us teaching at Mass Maritime Academy. Yeah.
Now I'm going to broaden you out. Go out to a.
I'm trying to lose weight.
No, not your corpus. Just the sales pitch. But we're expanding you out now to a what you call a full-blown PowerPoint presentation. To a group. That could be. I picture that could be. Well, it could be an angel group. It could be a venture capital presentation. Asking for serious money. Not for seed money, not for startup money.
No. This is growth money.
Growth money.
That's growth money.
But a full-blown presentation, being planning, where you now are planning on a group of listeners. You may scout the venue.
Yeah, you should.
I'm big on that. Handouts, maybe,
definitely one.
Handout.
And not too much. You don't want to give too much of a handout because you don't want them reading. You want them looking at you when you're making the presentation. But just give them enough that they've got to make notes and questions.
You also it might be you alone, or it might be a second or third person to speak, possibly.
I would hope that it'd be you and maybe one other person who's on your team that you've gotten that far along.
And product, you might.
Might have a sample, might have a prototype.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, right? Hopefully.
And time for Q&A.
Absolutely, you want to allow it. This is where the 10, 20, 30 presentation comes in.
What's that?
That's 10 slides, 10 PowerPoint slides, 20 minutes of you making your presentation, and a minimum of a 30-point font so that the angels sitting in the room looking up at the screen can actually see the darn thing. I've seen presentations where they put an entire spreadsheet up there, and there's no way you can read the numbers. First of all, they're not interested in all the detail numbers. That comes later. Hopefully, they're going to dig in later. You're just going to give them the totals. You give me $150,000, next year my sales are going to jump up to $800,000 and my profit's going to go to $200,000. That's all they want to know. They want to know all the details. They'll do that in the due diligence phase. So you got 10, 20, 30 presentation to make to these angel investors, and you're hoping that there is a good Q&A session at the end of the 20 minutes, and that when you leave the room and the angels then talk about it amongst themselves, the head angel, Michael the archangel, whoever he or she may be, comes out and says, we're going to give you a call. I've got 3 people interested in your company. And we'll come over to your office and see if we can put a deal together. That's when the due diligence starts. It's the same thing with Shark Tank. They send a team of people in to the company that they've proposed an investment in, but that doesn't mean they made that investment.
So you plan on a group of people, but that could be 5, 15, 25.
There's usually, your whole, well, 5's a little low, but maybe a dozen to 25 people are going to be hopefully sitting in the room.
And that scout the venue. Go and see the presentation point. Go look at it.
Yeah, and see see what the venue is going to be, and check out the AV and make sure everything we're going to work, and have a backup plan in case it doesn't.
Right. And and now I want to move on from the presentation. The mechanics of presentation to winning, what you call on your presentation, winning strategies, such as researching researching potential investors,
Sure.
like their interest and experience that the investors have or might have, financial capability, ability to be an advisor,
That'd be,
not just putting money in
that's
into
what
a
we call,
deal,
what we call smart money.
and the a network, maybe a network of key industry contacts. So winning. Talk about that now.
That's
these
exactly
winning
what happens.
strategies.
That's exactly what happens on Shark Tank. There's somebody might have a clothing line and they want to expand it, and they're looking at Damon, who is, of that group, the king of clothing. And really, you're hoping that Damon really wants to get involved with your company, that he'll give you the money you're asking for some piece of the company, and don't offer him 5% of the company. That's stupid. They want 10, 20, 30, 40% of the company. You got to make it worth their while, because Damon has not only the money to back you, he's got the experience, the intelligence, and he also has all the contacts. So that would be a great investor if you've got a clothing line. If you've got something that you want to put on TV there, what's that show there that they auction stuff off? I forget the name of it, whatever it is,
Auction.
MTV or what, I don't know, I don't watch TV.
Yeah.
Where they sell stuff,
Yeah.
And Lori Driscoll, I think was her name, that lady has done hundreds of millions of dollars on some of those TV shows that are selling. So those people have certain unique skills, and you might be targeting one of those people. So, it's nice to know that if you're in a particular industry, that there's somebody that's already got money in that industry, certainly not in a competitor, but has some experience, and that's what we call smart money, where they can put the money in, but they can also help you, give you also good business advice, but maybe get you the contacts you need.
Key business contacts.
Key business contacts to get some doors open so you can expand your business.
And more on winning strategies. Don't approach a potential investor cold.
Right.
You said get an intro.
Yeah.
For a person, LinkedIn, networking.
Somehow.
Yeah.
Get a warm introduction to the group. It's like, I was telling you before the show. I had an opportunity to interview at McKinsey. Many years ago, 20 years ago now. And it was because I knew somebody who knew somebody at McKinsey who was in charge, one of the managers, and he got me the interview, and I went in there a couple times, got the interview. I did walk away from it because I didn't want to do that kind of travel, but it was a warm introduction. You want the same thing from an angel group. If you just apply online through their Angel software, they've changed the name of it since. You and 1,000 other people. But if you get somebody who introduces you to the group and says, "Here's what I've got," and they bring you in, it's a warm introduction. It's like anything else. Much better off.
And now I'm going to move you on to what your presentation calls financial strategies, which such as number one would be bootstrap.
Yeah.
And delay that external funding as long as possible. Put it off. What are you talking about?
Well, you want to bootstrap it. You don't want to be wasting money, because angel investors don't want to see that the first thing you did is rent Class A office space and buy yourself a new Mercedes on the company. That's not going to help the company grow. And I've seen that happen with angels and put money in, and all of a sudden the money was being spent rather foolishly without advancing the company. So you want to show that you're being meticulous in how you spend your own money. Of course, you have to be. You'd be crazy not to be. But bootstrap means, don't spend money anywhere you're not going to get a great return on, whether it's money or quality of the, introduction to your product, your growth of your company. You want to be miserly about how you spend your money, quite frankly.
But also, you're telling us you don't walk in on the investor when you've done nothing.
No.
I mean, here I am, give me money.
Oh, I've got a great idea. I haven't put in any money. I haven't checked it out 6 ways to Sunday. No, that's way too early to be talking to anybody.
And so when you
got to get much further down the line.
When your advice is a bootstrap, that means to take action, do something, show some results to the best of your ability.
to the best of your ability, and whatever resources you've got, you're going to take it to that level, knowing or believing certainly that it's going to get to a point where now you're going to be able to really show an investor what a great business potential this is.
Well, you know, it's like I come in to ask you for money. I've got some sweat on my brow.
Yeah.
My hands are dirty.
Right.
You know.
And you've poured all your life savings into this.
And I pour myself into
and
the seat and say, Coach,
it's looking good.
Coach, I've done my best.
Right.
I've gone as far as I can.
But now I need $1 million to really attack this market. Right, that's good. It shows you've got confidence and you're out there and you've got sales traction, you've got a prototype, you've got a beta product, you've got some sales.
And you also want devote time and effort and funds, yours, to making sales.
Sales traction.
You always say, what's your advice? And your first advice is find a customer.
Find a customer.
It's that easy.
Sell something to a customer.
Find somebody who will buy what you're pitching.
Find a target that you can get out there and start to sell some of the people within that target group.
And not your mother.
And if that's your mother, well, that's a little bit. But if it's somebody you don't know, hopefully, it says, hey, I really like that.
But show that there's a marketplace.
Sales traction is the expression. That's what I want to see.
Whatever you're selling works.
Yep.
And refine your product performance and your marketing strategy.
Yep.
But this is when you're putting some flesh into the game.
Right.
You're showing the investor a market exists, that the product is bona fide.
It's a viable product, right?
Or service, product or service.
It will be in the early stage what we call an MVP, a minimum viable product.
Right.
It may not have all the bells and whistles, it may not be perfect,
right.
but it is an MVP and it's selling,
right.
and you need money to make it even better,
right.
and market it to an even bigger audience that's saying, hey, I'd love to buy one, where can I get one?
And there's more financial advice from that in your presentation, like develop your financials for this round. Develop your financial presentation, not just for this round, but maybe 2 more selling rounds.
Yes.
Going out.
Yeah.
So 2 or 3 years out.
Yeah, no more than 2 or 3, maybe 5. I don't know, because I mean it's too unpredictable to say this is where we're going to be in 10 years. But certainly the next year is critically important. I'd like to know what that's going to look like by month, preferably. Bank wants it by month, and most angel investors want to see how it's going to grow, and not just see the numbers. Well, how are you doing this? How are you achieving these numbers? The reasoning behind, here's some numbers, here's what we expect to do, here's what it's going to look like.
And also, your advice is ask for the entire amount. Don't be clever.
Yeah.
You need $1 million and say, well, I need $250 right now.
Yeah.
You know, don't do that. Don't be cute. True? Maybe true. Not necessarily. If you need $1 million to do what you need to do over a 2-year period, you may say, I need a commitment for $1 million, but with the first check for $250,000, I'm going to get beta products. I'm going to get a rep, and we expect to sell $800,000 next year. And if I reach that number, I need a commitment from you now that you'll give me the rest of the $1 million to take it to continue to grow the company. So you might, it's called tranches. Right? That's also you also call it a staged release.
It's tranches or a staged release. But you're saying, I need $1 million over 2 years. I need $250 now.
And you're meeting milestones.
You're meeting the benchmarks of the milestones. And the minute I hit that $800,000 figure to take it to the next level, I need you to write a check for another $500,000. But I need a commitment now for the whole thing.
All right, but you also advise that the financial need must equal the description of what is to be used for.
Absolutely, always.
The financials that you're asking for and the description of what's going to take place need to.
With the money, what are you going to do with the money?
The investor says, okay, that makes sense.
So,
not like this.
They got to match.
Right? And understand, this is a piece of advice. You say, know and understand your financials intimately.
You'll notice that when, on Shark Tank's the best one because so many people, millions of people have seen that show, they start to ask you about your numbers. When you don't have answers for them with the numbers, they turn off. And angel investors turn off. You better know your numbers. I mean, cold.
If it could be, I could say, how much you expect to sell in the first year? Well, I don't know.
I don't know. Well, you know what? With this $150,000, I'm going to make 3,000 pieces, and I expect to sell those, and my sales at the end of the year should be $800,000, and on that, company would show about a $200,000 profit, which puts us at the point where I need the next $1 million to take it to the next level after that. I've given them all the answers they want.
Don't say you don't know.
You can say you don't know, you're dead, but it's over at that point. I don't know.
And your final slide
Yep.
says mandatory effort. You call it mandatory effort, which includes prepare, and prepare.
It's kind of like real estate.
Practice.
Prepare and practice. Prepare. You never stop preparing, you never stop practicing, and you continue. Because like I say, it's highly unlikely that you've got your company and you got your little team together and you're a pretty good group of people and you've got some sales traction and you got a beta product in the market, but now you need $500,000. It's highly unlikely the first group you go to is going to say, sure, we'll write a check. You become, like I said in show 1, the CLC of the company, meaning you're constantly looking for cash. So you're going to go from angel group to angel group to angel group, trying to get some investors who believe in your company as much as you do.
Right. Okay, Coach and I have been talking about how to pitch investors, and this is the Fox Robbins Business Show, all about small business affairs, and all of our shows. This is episode 2 of 2 episodes. So look for both episodes, and you look on. Feel free to go to YouTube. Beg your pardon. Go to YouTube. Go to the search box and type in a single word, Fox Robbins, FOXROBBINS, and click, and voila, there is a library of shows, and you just go through and pick the one that is closest to what you need to,
What you're interested in.
what you're interested in, and what
Sure.
you need to know, and so forth, and go from there.
Right.
And if we haven't done your show yet, we'll get to it.
Well, send us a note, and we'll be happy to do one on whatever subject matter
Send
you
us
want.
an email to foxrobbins@gmail.com,
Will do.
and we will see you next time.